Hey Tescudo, good Monday. How are you? Endgames it is. Let's go to my study. Knight versus Bishop. Good, just had one of my best rapid games in a while. Nice. Knight versus Bishop. Oh, still found it. Nice. Against a 21. Nice. Hey Sakuho. What is up? Over the board. Oh, cool. I assume it was a win for you. Let me see, is this layout correct? Well, I guess you can see the board more or less fine, so I think I'm gonna stick with this layout. This is the biggest I can. And I could maybe make my face bigger. Maybe. Give me a second. I'm gonna do this. No, I'm gonna keep that like this. I'm gonna do this. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just a bit. Just a bit bigger. I can hear you because my headphones are charging. Please say hi in chat. Okay. Maybe you're trolling me. It was online, but I know his over the board rating. Ah, he's 2100 over the board. Okay, okay. I thought you played over the board. Okay, cool. Give me a second. I'm just watching some notifications. Hey, Chips. Lord Sakuho says, now my panic attack is soothed, even though I'm still functionally deaf. What do you think of version 2? It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, Lord Sakuho cannot hear me. It chips, that's why he said that. Okay, so today we're going to do Endgames. Hey Hardwell. Yeah, it's probably the 5th session we do on Endgames, 4th or 5th, maybe 5th. I can't remember already, which is a good sign. So every week I do a voting. I open a voting on Discord, and some topics get picked. So the most voted topic for today was random domination endgames or domination puzzles, and I have the great book by Kasparian here, so we'll just take some random puzzles from this book. They're going to be funny, but before that we're going to cover a theoretical endgame, which is the second most voted, and it was knight versus bishop with one pawn. It's going to be an interesting topic, not a long one, but interesting. Let me catch up with the chat. I think version 2 is awesome despite the pissing and moaning in the forum. I think it's cool. It's cool. I mean, I like it. and I don't see a lot of complaining. I think complaining is about the usual. I've experienced and lived on my own skin what happens when you do new versions of websites, and I think it's probably a success already. It's not even feedback, it's 95% peeps going, what the fuck sucks, bring back version 1 stuff. Yeah. Everything looks slightly too big. Like it's wearing baggy trousers. Yeah. Well, I'm doing this layout because I could just do the board smaller and make everything bigger so you can read better the letters to the left and to the right of the board. But I want you to focus on the board for this session. So well, at least I have the flexibility to pick this layout or a different one. So if you think this layout sucks, it's on me, not only Chess right now. Hey Castlebeat, what's up? It just needs some getting used to. It's intentional. Yeah, it's intentional. I love Lichess. It's been ruined. I'm gonna back to play on lag.com. Hate this site. Not now. Layout is good for me. Okay, cool. So, first thing we're gonna talk about today is going to be bishop versus knight with one pawn. That is the fight between the two minor pieces trying to promote a pawn, one of the sides. So we're going to cover obviously the two cases, bishop and pawn versus knight, and bishop versus pawn and knight. Big board layout is timeout Castlebeat. What? But Lich's new UI update sucks. Oh, we might add the exclam timeout command also. Okay. So it turns out that after rook endgames, bishop versus knight is one of the most frequent. Actually, let me pick. Yeah, I have here De La Villa's book, so I'm gonna find the table. Aha. So there's this table. I don't know if you can see it, with statistics on most, on the frequency of each type of endgame, and the most frequent is rooks endgames, then queens, then knights, then same color bishops, then opposite color bishops, and then knight versus bishop, and then all the rest. So knight versus bishop is fairly common, although I'm realizing this is not sorted. So what I just said is wrong. Oh, why is it not sorted? Now I need to have an eagle eye. Okay, definitely now I've seen all the percentages, and I can tell you the most frequent endgame is rook's endgame, and the next one is knight versus bishop, and the next one is pawns, just pawns endgames, and then the rest. Yeah, now that's right. So this is a very frequent endgame, it turns out. Am I really banned? No, you're not. If you can still talk in the chat, you're not banned. We have that command just to scare people. All the moderators and other people use that command for fun. Of course, you can use it too, because it's just a command to make knight what said that. Okay. Um hey, Planet Chess Club. Hello. You're not a follower. Okay, doesn't matter. Thanks. Thanks for the follow. Nice. Okay, so let's go. Let's start with this endgame. Um, Again, it's a very frequent endgame, and knight versus bishop is a really interesting imbalance. And the problem we're gonna have here, to from a theoretical point of view, is because of the imbalance between the two pieces. It's very tactical. Thanks, Castlebit. Thanks. Thanks. Come on. Oh, thanks, Sakuho, for that command. Although, Sakuho, can you hear me? Nah, probably not. So, yeah, it's going to be tough to... Pepe, you've been playing Ultra. Yeah, a couple of games. Kote? Kote? Nice. Okay. So we're going to have a look at some cases, but it's going to be hard to have some general rules. But at least I wanted to show a couple of important ideas we should remember in this type of endgame. So mostly tactical endgames are, so every different position has to be analyzed and calculated accurately. But okay, we're going to see some examples. So let's start with first case is going to be bishop versus knight and pawn. That is, the knight is going to be the strong side, the one trying to promote the pawn. When we have, let me put the first example already in the screen to talk about this. So when we have a knight trying to knight and pawn versus bishop, it turns out that the bishop is a very good defender. Bishops are usually better defenders than knights because they're faster, they can change diagonals. The moment they control a square in front of the pawn, it's really tough to maneuver the knight to block the bishop to then be able to push the pawn. So so yeah, in general, the bishop is a very good defender. But because of well, depending, not because of, but depending on the situation of the pawn and the situation of the bishop, sometimes it can be a win. So the position we're seeing here is just a very extreme position where it's white to move and white can draw, but it's in the verge of losing. Why? Because white's king is not helping, and black's pawn is really close to promoting, and that pawn is already supported by the king and the knight. So this is a very extreme position where the bishop shows its great potential to defend, but it's very close, and as we will see, accuracy is required. There's many subtleties here. So the main important thing we should remember in this endgame is diagonals. When you, well, in this case, obviously, the bishop is dark square bishop. The pawn is in a light square, promoting in a light square. We need to control f2. That's more or less obvious, right? The bishop needs to control f2. Now we can do it from two different diagonals. The g1 a7 diagonal and the e1 h4 diagonal. So those are the two diagonals that are important and where we want our bishop to be. As long as we keep the bishop in those diagonals, the bishop will be able to be sacrificed for the pawn if necessary. Okay, Sakuho is cannot hear me. He's gonna try now. Okay. As we can easily see, this diagonal is much, much longer than this other diagonal, right? There's a very long diagonal and a very short diagonal. So depending on the endgame, on the position, we might have diagonals longer than this. You're back, baby. Hey, welcome back, Sakuho. So depending on the position, we might have longer diagonals longer than this, or even shorter than this. So depending on the case, we might be drawing or losing. Give me the knowledge. Okay. So the important thing to remember is that four squares diagonal is already not a good thing. And the bishop is lucky here to have another diagonal that is longer than that, because four squares can be controlled by the king and the knight, and the bishop can be in trouble in that diagonal. So what black is going to try and do is, on one hand, to block the bishop action over the f2 square to be able to push the pawn, and on the other hand try to push the bishop away from this short diagonal and win. So we're gonna see how black draws. It's very instructive. It contains a couple of subtleties. Let's have a look. So obviously the first move is going to be bishop c5. And I say obviously because from the two diagonals we want to go, as a general rule, to the long one to have more freedom with our bishop. So bishop c5 check is the first move. Actually, I think I'm going to start showing why bishop h4 loses, and that's going to teach us something, right? So bishop h4 loses because, well, the king has to move. And at some point this knight wants to control these squares, and then king h3 would be winning, right? Again, because in a short diagonal the bishop has not enough squares. So for example, if we try to run with the king now, because we need the king to draw this. Get ready for this, boys. 94, threatening to block on g3. If black blocks on g3, then it's a win already. So the bishop has to go to the other side of the pawn. Yeah, to the other side of the blockade at least. Bishop e1. And then this precise move, knight c5, threatening to go to d3. And d3 is the magical square because it controls e1 and f2. So for example, now after king d6, knight d3, bishop h4, king h3. This is already winning for black. Downloading additional knowledge. Nice. Okay, so this is how we can lose this position with the bishop. And this is what we need to avoid at all costs. Now, it's not going to be easy to avoid this. Whoa, Planet Just Club just subscribed? Oh, that's amazing. Whoa, thank you. Thank you, man. Wow. I appreciate. Now, it's time to remember that we have some perks for subscribers. I'm a player now. Are you? You have a pawn. Okay. Wow. Let me try to remember the perk command. Perk sup1. Okay. There you go. So we've seen how we lose with bishop h4. So let's go to the long diagonal instead. First move, bishop c5 check. Good try, Sakuho. But you have all the information there. If you follow that link, you have all the information on perks, hopefully updated. So bishop c5 check, cool. Now, black will go to e2 probably. Other lines, king g2, for example, would be similar, but of course the king wants to go to the side of the bishop to do what what I have there in arrows, to be able to blockade. On g2 there would be no blockade, so the pawn could never advance. So king e2 is the only winning attempt, to be honest. But I'm allowed to do both even if I'm not a subscriber. Well, not entirely, Castlebit. I mean, I usually pick challenges from viewers. Well, sometimes when I'm not doing endgames or tactics. When I have more than one challenge, I don't usually play 10 games in a row. and if you're not a subscriber and you propose a topic, I might do it or not. But if you're a subscriber, you got it. Actually, we had already 2 matches with subscribers, and there were specific sessions for that. So I played one match with Chescuro. It's published. It was a long time ago, so it's no longer available on the Twitch videos, but it's published on my YouTube channel. And the other with Karmar. Yeah, actually, the command is still says about the match with Karmar. With Karmar, we did a longer time control, so we did only 6 games, and it was really fun. It was really fun. With Chescuro, it was 2 days, I think. 5 and 5, if I'm correct. Okay, so after the check and king e2, of course, black move on, nothing to see here. Thanks, Akuho. Black obviously wants to try and do this 95, 93. That's why now king c7 would be a blunder. This is important. Another way to lose this would be king c7 here. King c7, look, what a blunder. 95 check with tempo, then 93, and no way to stop the pawn. All right, so tricky. How do we save this if we cannot start running with the king? Well, here comes the most difficult move of this endgame, and I would say this is a good idea to remember. Bishop goes to g1, to the other side of the pawn. Open source for the wall. I'm just reading about you, Peplu. I was wondering why you're using GitHub for your info. Perfection Linux for the world. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of open source. Not sure how to... Yeah, on GitHub I had in the past some private repositories and I paid for them, but not anymore. I mean, I just keep everything open now. Thanks for the challenge, Wentworth IM, but not now. For the wing, not for the world, for the wing. I would like to know what projects you're working on, and also I will stop interrupting, lol. No worries, I'm used to be interrupted. I'm currently working for a company, so most of my work I cannot talk about it. But I've been streaming lately on some pet projects, about for Twitch, about for Telegram. I have a couple of other pet projects. I want to do a video game, and yeah, some stuff, some ideas of projects that I want to stream. But so you might find some streams when I was coding, like 2 weeks ago. But they were not very successful. I guess I have a chess audience mainly, but yeah, nothing special. I would say nothing special what I'm working on. Is Pepe a secret agent? Well, we don't have that command. Hey, OJ, welcome. I didn't notice you were there. Hello. So yeah, this is a key moment. Only Bishop G1 saves the game here, so it's not an easy move to do. If you start running with the king, there's no time. For example, Pepe is easy to distract. Yeah. For example, we might try. Let's see how to lose in a different fashion. King c7, we know it loses because 95, 93. But what if we avoid the c7 square and we go via c8 and start running to help? Well, it turns out we're not in time. So let's have a look at this to then understand why bishop g1 is the only move to save the game here. King c8, okay. Then 91, again threatening the blockade. So we need to go to the other side of the pawn. There's no other way. I mean, if black is going to play that, we need to go to the other side of the pawn, or at least change. We would need to change diagonal, but we don't have time for that. If we play like bishop here, bishop e7, f2, and we lose. So basically, only move is bishop g1, king f1, right? And now, this is important. Whenever the king is in front of the pawn, we can actually change diagonal, but it's a bit too late. Oh wait, actually, there's okay, king of one wins, but there's a better way to win. Yeah, sorry, I had the line here in front of me, and I'm not looking at it. Knight f2. So, well, it basically transposes, but yeah, the thing is black is going to go king f1 and knight g4. But yeah, I think both lines transpose probably. Okay, let's start running now. King f1, bishop h2, knight g4, bishop must go to g3, king g2. Now we're controlling those two squares. King h3, we're controlling those three squares. And now this check comes and the knight goes to d3. Oh, that is 3. I thought it was 6 for some reason. Blind. What? Ah, when you said h6, okay. Yeah, and after knight d3, of course, we're not in time to save the game. If only our king was closer. Only one square closer, we could attack the pawn. Ah, no, we don't. We cannot. So now we're too far away. But yeah, generally, this is the kind of procedure that the winning side wants to perform, which is not easy. As you see, it takes some maneuvering from the knight and the king. So yeah, in this position, it's very, very, very precise to go bishop g1. And now, black is going to try to do the same. 91. Now we can start running. Knight f2, let's do the same. Now, this is another key moment. So, yeah, as I mentioned, these are very tactical endgames, and precise calculation is required no matter what. So don't expect to find a golden rule here. From these examples, I hope we learn some ideas that we might apply, but you need to calculate. There's no other way. Actually, in this position, as tough as it is, the only move to draw is bishop h2. And it's not obvious, right? I mean, at least it's not obvious to me the first time I saw this position. The thing is, the knight on f2 is going to jump somewhere, probably to g4, but maybe to e4 or d3. And we need to be ready for the bishop to change diagonal the moment the knight jumps. So, for example, if we keep moving the king after king f1, bishop h2, now knight d3, exclam, king g2 is going to be gg, because now our bishop only has time to go to g3. In this case, the knight is protecting e5 and f4. So, yeah, this is lost, of course. Bishop g3, king g2, and yeah. So we might say, okay, that's because we don't have bishop d6 to change diagonal, right? So let's go king d7 instead of king d6. Well, let's do the same with black. And now instead of knight d3, we go knight g4, exclam. Hey, my sick duck, what's up? So now, bishop g3 will face the problems we've already seen, because there's going to be knight e5, knight d3. We know this. We've already seen that. So the other idea could be to go to d6 to change diagonal, right? That seems good. The problem is knight e3 blocks that diagonal immediately. And now going there just loses to king e2, right? So now we need to go to this diagonal back and then knight f5. Oofda. So yeah, the problem is you need to calculate, basically. Here we're seeing ideas, but to understand that bishop h2 is the only way to do it, you need here, instead of king d7 or king d6, you need to calculate precisely. So bishop h2, and now depending on where the knight jumps, we put the bishop one way or the other. So let's say king f1 makes sense. Well, this is important. I have a note here that if he goes to g4 now, the best move, and the only that draws actually, is bishop g1. So whenever the knight is on g4, we can go back to the long diagonal. But it's important that we can do it now, not when the king is on f1. I have another annotation here that says that knight h3, then we go bishop g3, and the knight on h3 is not great, so it will spend too many tempi. So in case of f pawn, is it a draw? No, don't draw any conclusion from this. It just depends on tactics. It just depends on specific subtleties of the position. We cannot state golden rule that works. We can only say that bishop has excellent drawing chances. The bishop has excellent drawing chances. But sometimes when a diagonal is too short, these themes appear, these themes we're seeing in these losing lines, that the bishop can lose. Okay, and now in this case, for example, with the knight on h3 is so clumsy that we have time to bring the king. For example, I have a line here, knight f4, king comes, knight h5, bishop has to move, knight g7 with a subtle fork threat. Actually, knight f5 would be killing, even if it's not a fork, so king e5, and we're just in time, and this is a draw. Hey Fuxia, what is up? But Pepe, can you win Stockfish in rook and knight versus knight and knight? I don't think so. Hey Jim. Okay, so all this line comes from this position. So we've seen knight g4, knight h3, don't win. So king f1 would be the normal attempt to try and control this, all these squares as we previously did in other lines, right? That's the construction to try and win this position. So here, of course, again, if we keep moving towards the pawn, well, king e5, allowing that check, usually not good. King c6, for example, would be met with knight g4, and we know what's going to happen, right? We've been here already. If bishop g3, king g2, knight e5 check, knight d3. So if bishop d6 to change diagonal, then king e2, and now we cannot change diagonal because of the blockade. We've seen that theme. So the themes are always the same, as you can see. Now we have to go back to g3, and then is when knight e3 happens, and it's going to be GG because knight f5 comes. So in this position that black is ready to control this diagonal in a couple of different ways, actually, also with knight g4, as we saw, we need now very fast to play the precise move bishop e5. And it's interesting that a move like bishop f4 or a move like bishop d6 or a move like bishop g3, they all lose. So that shows how accurate calculation is required in this kind of endgame, always. Bishop e5, exclam. And then, for example, knight g4, bishop d4, king e2, bishop g1, and draw. And we've seen this position a couple of times already. So black can still try. Black can still try to keep posing the same problems on and on. And oopsie. And we moved one square with the king. We got one square closer. So if we do the same maneuvers again, we're gonna get maybe another square closer, as long as we don't fall for a terrible check. Okay, that was not easy, was it? I would lose for sure. Yeah, I think I would probably lose also, unless knight f7 there. Okay, let's go back to that position. Knight f7. What? You mean knight f2? You mean knight f2? Back to f2? We've already seen that position. But yeah, black can try that. Black can try to keep posing the same problems, but we've already seen that after knight f2, bishop h2 is the only move that draws. In this position, bishop h2, and that was a very precise move. And we've been in this position already. So good news for white is once white solved the problem once, there's not a lot of other options for black to try, and threefold repetition is on the agenda. Yeah, king f1. Yeah, we've tried that very same line, and this is the position where bishop e5 is the only move. So if we go back, we came from that position here, exactly here. So we're just repeating. So after bishop g1, you get back in time. Yeah, I'm gonna delete the rest of the moves because we're just repeating. Make main line. Okay. Those endgames need such precision, but the hardest part is to completely understand the position. Yeah. They require precision. But I mean, if you want a general rule, you need, in the initial position, you need to uh, look for the longer diagonal always. First, go to the long diagonal. Only go to the short diagonal whenever you're forced to. Beware of these blockade threads and try to timely go to the other side when required. And then this part is all about calculation. This part around here, bishop h2 only move that draws. It's all about seeing the losing moves. Yeah. Anyway, this is like the most complicated example we're gonna see today, thankfully. Let's have a look at this happens with all pawns that are not rook pawns, but let's see what happens with a rook pawn. Sorry. Well, rook pawns, as we know, they have their own rules in all endgames, and this case is no exception. A rook pawn is, well, it tends to have a very short diagonal, actually unexisting if the pawn is on the 7th rank. So you only have like one diagonal from which you can stop the pawn. So it's tricky for the bishop to be able to defend. Now, as we will see, there's a very interesting resource to save this endgame, and this one we can remember. It's not like the the previous example calculation was required. This example we can draw very clear conclusions on how to draw with the bishop. It's white to move and draw in this position, and there's only one move to draw. White bishop b5 does not draw castle bit. For example, let's show the line. Bishop b5. I assume the idea is bishop f1, check and take. But black's main threat is to play king g1, knight g2, and then promote the pawns. For example, after king g1, bishop f1, knight g2, check. There's no way we're gonna stop the promotion. So, not great. Gonna delete this variation. Bishop d7 does anything. Bishop d7 is the only move that draws. Jim. Okay, so in this position seems hopeless, right? Black is gonna play king g1, knight g2, and then promote the pawn. Now bishop d7 is the only move that draws in this position. So well spotted, Jim, although you don't see the idea yet. And once you see it, I think you will not forget it, because it's a very pretty idea. It forces the pawn to move, yeah, and that's the key. But then you need to see the rest of the idea. So bishop d7, and the pawn has to go to h2. King h2, we take the bishop, castle bit. We take the pawn, sorry. Of course, bishop takes pawn is an immediate draw, so the pawn has to push. And now we do the check. And of course, the king is going to go to g1, right? And now the knight is threatening to go to g2 and promote. So what can we do here? We can do this beautiful move, bishop h1. Now, first time I saw this, I was like, whoa. And it's impossible to forget. I think once you see this once, you only need to see this once. If you see this, you just remember it. But of course, for this to work, we need, to trap the black's king in the corner, we need the pawn on the 7th. That's why the first move was bishop d7. Now, there's no way for black to push the bishop out. The only attempt would be to take it. Well, we can see both ideas. First of all, let's see what happens if black takes. If black takes, of course, we're gonna trap the king in the corner. But now it's very important that we need to fight against the knight. So the important thing to remember is to put our king in the same color as the knight. As long as we put it in the same color as the knight, we have no issues. So king f2 is the move here. King f2, same color as the knight, and now this is a draw. The knight cannot do anything. We're going to move from f1 to f2, from f2 to f1. For example, knight f3, king f1, knight e2 check, king f2, and yeah, the knight cannot, knight e4 check, king f1. The knight has to move. So next move is going to be king f2. So yeah, don't find the amazing bishop h1 and then blunder going here to f1. This would be a blunder. For example, knight f5, it's not the only move. King f2, knight g3, and we would lose because we need the king on f1 and f2 to keep the king trapped. So, and in this position, can black try something? For example, knight f5, and you know, followed by knight g3. That seems fine. That seems okay. But the problem is the knight now is no longer threatening knight g2, so we just go out. Any place in the diagonal, no problem. We just go out, and the moment he threatens to block on g2 again, we go to h1, and that's the draw. So important resource there, very beautiful one, and as we've seen, it's important to push the pawn to the 7th rank. It's important that the pawn promotes in the same color as the bishop. The bishop is the right color, so that doesn't always work, of course. And what's another thing that's important is that our king is very close. Our king is very close. If the king is not so close, then the strong side would win. And that's what we're going to see in the next example. So here we have the pawn is a rook pawn, the strong king is in the knight file, and this king is in the king's file, right? In the next example, we're gonna see that this king is not in the knight file, but in the bishop file. So this king is far away. Well, not far away, it's close, but farther than in the previous example. Okay, this is losing. This is losing for white, this position. But we're gonna see how to win, because it requires also some technique to win this position with black. This position is black to play and win. And of course, what we want in an ideal world is the same construction as always: knight blocking on G, in this case B2, and king on B1. That's our ideal construction. But if we do it like in a direct way, white is going to draw the way we saw in the previous example. White is going to play bishop A1, bring the king to the D file. So the basic idea of this endgame is gonna be to bring the king to b1 in the right moment, in a moment where this king cannot go to d2. That's gonna be the key. And for that, this knight has to be ready to jump to b3 with a fork. So we're gonna see it in moves. Knight d3, we start knight d3. It's not the only move. Knight d5 also works. Knight a6, knight c6. Almost any knight jump works here. As long as we don't move the king before we should move it, we're not spoiling the win. So knight d3 seems good because it threatens knight b2 immediately, so the bishop has to go to a1, obviously. We go knight b2 anyway. And now white can only move the king. The obvious would be king e1, right? And now... there are many moves, including king c1, which is the one I would do, but the one I have is 94. Hey, Castlebit. Thank you. Fito is sleeping, but I'll give love to him later. Thanks, Castlebit. See you. So again, there are many moves that win, but let's see one simple procedure. 94. As I said, we want the knight to be able to jump to b3, so we're gonna bring the knight to c5. So that's the idea. Let's say king e2. Now king c1, king e1, knight c5. So we sort of lost one tempo here with the king, to be sure that the king is on e1, not on e2, just to, you know, to have this king in the worst place possible. And now here it comes. We're ready to jump here. So after, well, I mean, every move loses, but after the logical move, which is going back to e2, now we enter b1. And now what white would love to do is king d2, like to be ready to do the previous drawing idea, but he can't. So if the bishop goes out, well, we can see that. If the bishop goes out, we just go to a4, black to blocking, and yeah, this king is not in time. The bishop has to go back to a1, right? And the king is totally far away. So this is completely lost, of course. So here the only attempt would be to play king d1. The problem is king d2 would be a draw if not for the fork on b3. So king d1, and now 93. Yeah, and we're gonna go to b2. 93 is a move that obviously wouldn't be possible with the king on d2, but now it is with the king on d1, and after king d2, knight b2, and this is a Suksan position for white because we want to lose a tempo with the king, but at the same time we want to keep the king with access to c1 and c2 to keep the king in the corner. We don't, so for example king c3 we can just take, and obviously there's no king c1, so after for example king c2, 93. Whoa, that's a raid. Hey KB Han, thanks for the raid. Welcome people. What's up? How you doing, guys? We're having a look at a very difficult endgame here. Knight versus bishop. We learned a thing or two, I think. Yeah. So this is all I got, I think. No, not all. I have one more chapter with an example of this. Exactly. Let me bring it there. BDCS, hey, no problem, brother, nice show. And brothers here, War Creeper. Thank you, War Creeper. And welcome, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. So let me. You actually arrived just in time for the best example. Let me do a quick summary of what we saw so far. So we're covering endgames that are one pawn and bishop versus knight. So there's two scenarios. Bishop is defending against knight and pawn. This is the one we've been watching. Hey KB Han, how was the stream? And the other part, which we're gonna see, now, in a minute, is going to be knight versus bishop and pawn. That is, the bishop is the strong side with the pawn. So we've seen so far that the bishop is a great defender, but that accuracy is required. We've seen this endgame where, oopsie, where we want to go to the long diagonal. We've seen cases of the knight being able to blockade, so we need to move the bishop to the other side of the pawn. Precision required. The king comes. We've seen that in some specific moments like this one, we need very accurate moves, like bishop h2 here is the only move that draws. And yeah, we've seen many lines to lose, but we've seen how to draw, more or less. Doing good. What you up to? Love the shirt. I collect play shirts. Oh, cool. Stream was awesome. Oh, nice to hear that. Nice. Okay, then we've seen this special case of the rook's pawn and this amazing drawing resource the bishop has in this case. Oopsie, not that move. That's a blunder. So let me make the main line the main line. All right. Bishop, hey, hello. So this amazing drawing resource we saw, bishop d7, forcing the pawn to push, and only when the pawn is on the 7th, we go check. We didn't see knight f3 check, but of course king e2. Now, we've seen king g1. Let me promote that line. I'm not sure if this is v2 of Lichess, but, oh, thanks for the follow, whoever followed. I lost the notification, sorry, but thank you. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, Fuxia says, I really hate it that in Lichess v2 the disabled chat is still taking space. Oh, yeah, but I'm experiencing some problems with the studies. Whenever I delete a line, like all the main lines, these are no longer main lines. It's a bit weird, but okay. I'm restoring them, so it's okay. Anyway, bishop h1, only move to draw here, amazing resource. And then after knight g2 check, which wasn't the main move again. You see, all the main lines disappeared, are no longer main lines. The main line here was king takes. Promote variation. Okay. And okay, it was important to go to the same color of the knight, and then it's a draw. Okay, so that was an important trick to remember, the bishop h1 trick. Okay, and now the last case we've seen is the case where the defending king starts far away, so the trick is not possible. So we've seen how to win with black. Some precision is required also to win with black. Bishop a1, of course. And now black basically brings the knight to have access to a fork on b3. What? That's not even the main line again. Oh my lord. Lichess. King e1 was the main line here. This is very weird. This is very weird. I'm sorry. Yeah, king b1 is not good there. I mean, all the Jesus Christ, Lichess. All the lines are wrong. Now I need to find the main line from the comments. I guess I will find it. I think it's this one. This one. This one. Okay, so this is the final position, so I'm gonna do this, the make main line. Okay. Ah, Jesus, let's see the main line. Okay. So the knight wants to go to c5, and once the knight is on c5, there's no king d2. So we go to b1, because there's no king d2 because of the fork on b3. So that was the key to winning this position. So king d1 and then knight d3 to b2. And this position is a suits one because there's no way the king cannot go back to d1, so suits one. And yeah, there's no way the king can access c1. And therefore it loses. Okay. So now we're gonna see a real game where something like that happened. I don't know if you've seen this game live. I did watch it live in 2017 in the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz tournament, Nakamura versus Garry Kasparov. There was one game where they got to one of these endgames. Let me show the position after a couple of moves. Yeah, after takes here and this pawn disappeared here, we have this position where it's rook's pawn, bishop is the defending side, Nakamura had the knight, Kasparov had the bishop. I remember very clearly this game, and yeah, Kasparov was black. This was in the rapid section, so it was 25 minutes per game, so they have time to think. And I have linked the video here. I might be able to play it. Oh, I thought I had a start. Aha. There you have it. Maybe it freezes a bit.
But don't you have to guard it on the h8 square? It seems like you're a long way away from stopping him. You have to make multiple moves.
So one important advantage that the bishop has is the pawn still needs to traverse two black squares. So the king is in time to come, basically. He took the draw. Well, they fought for some time, and Nakamura posed a couple of tricks that we're gonna see.
You have to make constant moves with your knight. By that time, your king should be back home.
Blocking, so he can push the pawn.
I mean, the king is very close.
King keeps running.
Now only 2 steps
King
away.
e7. Push. Push and king f5, king g6.
And now you definitely can't block.
Right.
Yep.
Gary would
What? Okay.
Very firmly confident in the draw. He twists the
No,
move to A1.
The knight has to now get
Knight f7, no threat.
The king will be on f8. This is a draw. There's just no way to.
Knight g8 to f6.
Knight g8 check, knight f6.
Mm-hmm.
Knight g8 check. I play king f8.
Knight f6. And that was why you had to put his bishop
That's
on
true.
h8.
That's a good point.
King e6.
Go back to h8.
Be ready whenever there's a.
I see.
Yeah.
Right.
There's that block. What you guys are talking about is
Hmm.
this key way to try to win the minor piece endgame with moving the knight.
Yeah.
F6 at the right.
I think Gary should just keep his bishop on h8.
Right, because
Put
then
his
it's like-
king on f8.
Right. Wait. All. This is can't be one. This is
Right. And now just keep his king on
Hmm.
f8.
Oh, he's worried about getting into Zugzwang.
Yeah.
Nervously.
Oh, king f8 there, knight f6. Knight f6.
Bishop g7.
And then knight d7 check.
Knight d7 check.
Yeah, so he
was worried.
couldn't play
He
king
couldn't
f8
just
in
hold
that
the full
position.
He could play
But-
king f8.
But the knight can't gain a tempi, and that's the problem here. Black is definitely drawing, it just has to not fall for any tricks. Right now, it is fine for black. Nakamura missed the win earlier. I saw the move knight e6
There.
instead of
Knights are so tricky.
Yeah.
I just, on my board, I just wanted to show one very...
Yeah, Nakamura doesn't see the wing now.
why Gary Kasparov
So
had an only move,
he's gonna take the draw.
bishop h8. If Gary had played bishop b2, it was a very nice idea.
Knight g8, king e6.
King e6. I wanted to just point out
Knight
that
F6
this,
just wins.
this is the win. So, oops, and we have this position at the moment.
No, the knight's on d5, king e6. No, this Nakamura is staring around trying to figure out if there's any way to win this position, and there just isn't. And Gary Kasparov will have magically saved this game. And there you saw Nakamura's face, a little bit disgusted as he brings his knight back, attempting to come up with some idea to eject that bishop. Yes, you can get the bishop to move, but
You put the bishop as far
far
away from
away.
the
There will be no forks today.
No fork.
There'll be no forks. There's no way at all to win this position.
And there we have
And
it.
there you queen, and Gary Kasparov has drawn the
nice.
game. Amazing save, but go back.
Nice. Okay, so so this was the position where they started the endgame, and yeah, the pawn needs to traverse 3 dark squares. That's good for the bishop. That bishop moving from a to first. Yeah, as Yasser said, you want the bishop as far away from possible. So there's no possible fork. So yeah, the knight needs, whenever the pawn threatens to advance to a dark square, you just bring the bishop there. Hey, Gina Rook, thanks for the follow. And then white needs some maneuver with the knight to be able to push the pawn a bit more. So the king is in time to come. And we've discovered here an interesting defense by Kasparov, which is not the one we've seen. So maybe Nakamura could have tried to go with the king first, but I don't think that would help. Yeah, no, that wouldn't help. The pawn was not very advanced, so yeah. And now this is very interesting idea. In previous examples, we've seen the strong king already here, helping the pawn to promote, like on g8. So what we have here is even more difficult to win, because now the king cannot help the pawn promote. So what Kasparov is doing from this point on is just to, with this king, is going to protect f7 with the bishop g7. So and with both, with king and bishop, he's protecting f6, so there's no blockade with the knight. So yeah, bishop just waits. And now the bishop came there because commentators were pointing out that there might be some knight g8, knight f6 tricks. But of course, as long as you keep the king defending f6, there's no such tricks. For example, if bishop b2, knight g8 check, it's important we keep f6 controlled, and there's no problem because there's no blockade. As long as there's no way to create a blockade, the bishop is stopping the promotion. Yeah, after knight g8, for example, a blunder would be king f8 because of knight f6. I think they showed that this idea, and yeah, here white is winning, of course. So we need to be careful with that. We need to be careful with controlling the square where a blockade can happen. And apart from that, nothing really interesting happens until this position, where Kasparov played king f8, and without releasing the king, he decided to go to e6. And I think king f8 is not a blunder, but it's tricky because the commentators were saying knight f6 and bishop g7 would lose, and it does lose to knight d7 check. This is losing. So in this position, actually black is in a bit of trouble because bishop g7 loses, bishop takes f6 loses, but that means that the only other legal move, king e7, is not losing. But yeah, I guess Kasparov didn't like this, and I think he realized at this point when he went to e6 that he could just keep the king on e7 and e6, because what is important is to control this blockade here. As long as there's no king f7 and there's no way to blockade on f6, it's just a draw. So king e7, king e6, king e7, king e6, forever and ever. And yeah. Now, I want to finish this section of bishop versus knight and pawn, refreshing our mind on how to win had Kasparov played the horrible move king d7 here. Of course that's a stupid move, king d7. But again, we've seen this position before. We've seen how to win here, but it's not simple, or maybe it is. Let's see if we can find the only way to win here. There's only one way to win here, so let's see if we find out. Of course, king f7 here. And how to win this? Let's refresh our mind. We want to go here when our opponent cannot go here, and for that we're gonna put the knight in a place where it can deliver a fork on g6. That's the construction we've seen to win. So what we would do after black moves something, let's say bishop a1, well, whenever we can threaten this, we do. So bishop goes back to the other side, knight f6 check, and then we go to this square, king d7, king f8, not king g8. King g8 allows the drawing method we've seen. King f8, because we're still not ready to go to g6. So king d8, and now knight f4, exclam. And after king d7, king g8. And there's no king e7. And that's the key. That's the key. King e8, knight h5, king e7, knight g7. And black is in Suxman because black wants to play king e8 here. And it's not allowed. No, we're gonna lose control of this square. So there you go. Just to refresh our mind on the way to win this. Okay. I think we're ready to move on to the next chapter, which is easier. It is knight versus bishop and pawn. So the bishop is the strong side now. Oh, wait. I had a summary somewhere. Where do I have it? 1 second. 1 second. Before I move on, I wanted to show, but it's here in the study, so you'll see it later. Oh, here after the first example. Yeah, for central pawns, when the bishop is defending against central pawns. I have at the end of the chapter this important comment here with important conclusions on this endgame where the bishop is defending. We have 3 conclusions here. When the bishop has 2 diagonals consisting of 5 squares, we don't need the king to support the draw. To be able to draw the bishop is enough, because yeah, if the bishop has 5 squares in the diagonal, the king and the knight cannot control all of the squares. So bishop can always save the game. Second case, when shorter diagonal consists of 4 squares, and that's this example we've been seeing here. The bishop can be driven off, so it's not easy, but the defending king only loses if the king is too far away. And third, if the shorter diagonal consists of less than 4 squares, there's a lot of winning chances for the knight. Because there's ways to drive the bishop out in faster ways than in this example. Okay, but you have all this in these comments. Now let's really move on to knight versus bishop and pawn. So when the bishop is the strong side, uh, when the bishop is defending, it is a great defender, but when the bishop is attacking, it's also a great attacker. So the knight is not as good defender as the bishop. So of course, in this scenario, bishop and pawn versus knight, there's a lot of winning chances. However, the bishop only controls one color complex, sorry. So we have scenarios where the defending side can block in the other color, and if you have a perfect blockade, then it's a draw. So we're gonna have a look at those. So first scenario would be this one. This is the easiest. It's black to move. Is it public study? It's gonna be Melek, and welcome. Right after we finish this session, I will publish it. the same we've been doing in previous sessions. And then I have this big study, which is like, so we're releasing studies, basically. We're publishing studies in these sessions. And then I have another big study, which is called something like Endgames from Zero to Hero, where I'm collecting the basic ideas of each type of endgame, and then I will link from there to these more in detail studies. And that one's not public yet, but for now the studies we're doing every Monday, we're publishing them. So yeah, this is going to be public in, I don't know, 30 minutes maybe when we finish. Okay, King B8 obviously. King B8 obviously, Bobby. Hello. Yeah, okay. So black to move and draw. The obvious move is King D8. And yeah, this is one of those scenarios where the bishop, as strong as it is, cannot win in this position because we have the king in the color that is opposite to the bishop, and it's in front of the pawn. Immediate draw. The only thing black has to do is not to lose the knight and keep moving the knight forever and ever and ever, right? There's no way for white to drive the king out of d8, so this is a draw. Okay, so this is the scenario we don't need to study basically, but we need to consider it because it's maybe, I don't know, 50% of the endgames would have this possibility. So yeah, when we're trying to simplify a position towards an endgame, we need to be sure if this is possible or not, because this is an immediate draw. So next scenario, what it seems like a good blockade, but it's not. So this scenario, we have the defending pieces controlling a square that is opposite color of the bishop. So in general, this could be a draw, this would be a draw. But here is where Suxuan appears. And as we all know, the bishop can triangulate a knight. So Suxuan will appear here. Bishop d5, Bobby, is not winning. So we're gonna see, let's start seeing why bishop d5 doesn't win. Bishop d5, not the only way to draw for black, but it's good enough, is knight d6 check. And black is gonna check forever. Yeah, no, knight d8 would be a mistake. Knight d6 check instead is a draw. For example, I mean, you have to keep the pawn defended, so king c7, knight e8 check. And yes, Melek, you're right, king c7 first. Yeah, now obviously if king c6, we have king d8, and if king goes back to c8, we keep checking. So this is a draw, right? If king here, just we repeat, and if king here, we can play king d8 or many other moves, but I would go king d8 and then start moving the knight forever. That would be the simplest, I think. So back to the initial position. Okay, bishop d8 when the knight is on d8. Yeah, bishop d5 when the knight is on d8. Yeah, exactly. That's what we want to. That's what we want to do. So king c7 first, which, I mean, it turns out that bishop c6 also wins, but it's a bit harder to understand. I think what is simple to understand is that black's only resource here to draw is the perpetual check. So I think king c7 is very logical because it prevents that. And then if knight d8, for example, I mean, any other move is the same. Knight d8, then bishop d5. And yeah, this is a Suxuan, and white wins. So I think king c7 is more logical than bishop c6 because it prevents the check. And of course bishop c6 also wins because it stops the check on e8, right? Bishop c6 wins because after this check we don't have knight e8 check. But it's like more complicated. King f8 you can show? Yeah, we can show that. So yeah, after king c7, king f8 you said here? King f8 here, Bobby? Is that your suggestion? Hey Cosmic Dean, what is up? It's a stupid, yeah. I mean, king f8, bishop d5, right? And yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, I think bishop d5 is the answer against everything, right? And yeah. Okay, so this position again, we have the perfect blockade, but it's not stable, and white can triangulate. The bishop can always triangulate the knight, so the knight is going to be in Suxuan anytime. So the only way for to draw. I'm just a beginner. You're not, man. You're not. I know you're not. When king e6, bishop h5. What? King e6, bishop h5. But what if the pawn would be on e4? I don't understand. Thanks for the follow, Tenta Chess. So again, the only drawing mechanism is an active one. If you just wait, you're gonna be in Suxuan. The only mechanism to draw is the perpetual check, and that's the only thing white should not fall for. All right. There's a specific case which is with the bishop's pawn, where there's another resource to draw, and we're gonna see it. And the title of the chapter is Stalemate Resource, so now you get what's the idea. Okay, so yeah, in general, in this kind of bad position, we want to do perpetual check. That's pretty much our only resource to draw. But here in this specific situation, we have another way to draw. In this position, it's white to move. But yeah, if it was black to move, exactly, Bobby, king h8 would be the idea. Anyway, it's white to move, so white will triangulate the knight until we get to the same position with black to move. Yeah, knight just moves out, bishop g4, knight to f8, bishop f5, and black to move and draw king h8. This is great resource, but it saves the day because white cannot do anything to avoid it. Why move the knight? Why not? Yeah, if the bishop leaves the diagonal that controls h7, the knight can go out safely. And if the bishop keeps on that diagonal, there are stalemates when he takes the knight. So move cute to only move the king. More cute. No, but with the bishop on h3, you cannot move the king, Bobby. Let's go back to the initial position. After bishop h3, you cannot move the king. Your knight is hanging. You can only move the king when the bishop controls h7 to have the stalemate trick, right? So in this position, you need to move the knight. Ah, you played bishop d3 in your head. Okay. Okay. Well, if you move bishop d3, I guess we can either move the king or move the knight, but to e6. Hey, thanks for the challenge. I have a face, but not now. It's not a problem to lose the knight, but for the pawn, otherwise you lose. Yeah, for the pawn or for the stalemate. Yeah, bishop d3, king h8 is cute. You're right, Bobby. Okay, so important trick, this stalemate resource. So in general, perpetual check, or yeah, threefold repetition, just perpetual check is what we want to save the position, and this stalemate when there's a bishop pawn. And last but not least, we have this example, or 50 moves works too, yeah. Okay, so when the pawn is less advanced, Suxuan is impossible if the king is in front of the pawn. If you have the defending king in front of the pawn in opposite color as the bishop, then it's a draw, it's a mere draw. But now, in this position, we have a defending king that's not in front of the pawn, it's in really bad shape, and the knight is, it's controlling the advance of the pawn, but it's very, very unstable there. So this position seems hopeless for black, and it is. It is white to move and win. However, complicated tactics are required, so this requires precision too. Bishop e4, Bobby, does not win, but let's show why. Bishop e4, it seems almost winning. Like, I mean, if we take the bishop, he takes the knight. If you're here to draw, okay. So let's just point out one thing of this initial position, because our king is attacking the pawn. White cannot take our knight. That would be a draw. We would love white to take our knight, and it's giving me a draw. So bishop e4. I already spoiled it. Bishop e4 check. If we take, then he can take the knight and win, right? But there's this move, king e5. King e5, and amazingly, this is a draw. I saw a spoiler in the opening explorer already. Yeah, you can see you can see this. I can close it maybe. But I have it open there just to be sure. Yeah, the opening book, when you're in Endgames, it's the table base. This is table base, so it shows you, in this case, the different moves that draw, which are all legal moves in this case. So I have it there, like for just to be sure that I'm not saying any stupid thing. It's not an opening book then. Yeah, but it's the same button on Lichess. The button has, if you hover it, it says opening explorer and table base. And the button has the shape of a book. So it works for me. It says there is a spoiler to actually read them. Okay, let's close it then. How I know strictly I should say endgame table base explorer or whatever. Yeah, okay. So yeah, bishop e4 check, king e5, bam, and it's a draw. So the winning move is bishop b3 check. Bishop b3 check. And we're looking for a Zugzwang like this. After king e5, bishop e6. This is the kind of Zugzwang we want, when the king can no longer defend the knight and attack the pawn, because the way to defend the knight is either defend it directly or keep the pawn attacked. So this is the kind of Zugzwang we're looking for as white. But of course black can be a bit more resilient and go to the other side. King c5. And now, so the idea is to bring bishop to d5. Well, not to d5. The idea is to get to a position that is a Zugzwang for white. So for example, in the initial position, when we went bishop e4 check and black could play king e5, this position is not losing for black, only because it's white to move. In this position, if it was black to move, it would be losing. Black to move here, it loses. So this is the kind of position that is a mutual Zugzwang. Both sides want to reach this position, being the opponent's turn to move. So this is the kind of position you want, either with the bishop here or with the bishop on e6. This is the kind of position you're looking for. A Zugzwang where either the knight has to move, then the pawn will promote, or the king has to stop defending the knight. So going back to the winning line, bishop e3 check, king c5, and yeah, you're saying bishop e6 here. I think bishop e6 works. The line I have here is bishop a2, but I think any move in the diagonal should work. Hey John John. I don't understand your line, Bobby. You say bishop e6, king c6, bishop d7? That allows knight takes d7? e6 is pretty good because this knight is pretty crippled already. Bishop f7, next puzzle. Bishop f7, John John. That does win also, yeah. I think all of them, but now I want to be sure with table base. Yeah, all of them, bishop c4, bishop e6, bishop f7, and bishop a2. All of them win, yeah. So let's have a look at bishop e6, because I think this is the one. I mean, I had the line with bishop a2. Bishop g8 doesn't win, Bobby. Because, you know, knight takes his check. Hey, Julicy, wow, thanks for the cheering. Thanks for the beats. How do you like version 2? Am I alone thinking the board size scale is too small? Or you want it bigger? Okay, so let's see the line you want. Bishop e6, king c6. The problem is now I don't have king e6, which is what I wanted. So now I would need to see in table base what the winning idea would be here, which I guess is moving the bishop out. So I think this is actually not the shortest way to win. Yeah. Now it's gonna ruin the main line as usual. Okay, yeah. Look, you saw that? You saw that? It messed it all up, Lichess. It did it again. Anytime I delete one line, all the lines get messed up. The main line is no longer the main line. This is definitely a book. I'm gonna report it. Now I need to find the main line, which is this one, and make it main line again. Okay, so yeah, let's just do bishop a2, which does not get in the middle of the king, wanting to go to e6. And after king c6, we go king e6. Get knightbot out of here. Yeah, now black to move and black wants not to move, right? We have a couple of options. We can move the king or we can move the knight. We can see one and then the other. Let's say we move the knight. Thanks for the donation, Bobby. Okay, let's move the knight. I mean, now that the king is on e6, we have a fork on f8, right? So we can move there. But I said king c5. Okay, okay, we'll look at king c5 after this, or knight e4. Okay, we can see all of them. Let's start seeing knight h7 first. Bishop check. Ah, king must move. Now king back to e7. Damn, look at that. White can't even sacrifice the bishop. Did you see my finger Instagram post? Oh yeah, John, how did you do that? I saw some blood in there. What happened? So look at this idea. White is willing to sacrifice the bishop to promote. Seems fair to me. Now, knight f6 still. And we're almost closer to get our Suksan position. Now the bishop keeps on this diagonal, limiting the king. So the king wants to keep this attack to be able to save the knight, but how to do it? The king cannot move. So knight g8 check, king e6, knight back to f6, bishop e4 exclam, Suksan. King cannot move, knight cannot move. Damn, those wins are not easy. No, not easy, right? Just discovered your channel, but I've gotta go. I'll come back. Thank you. Thank you, Tento Chess. Thank you. I was digging up roots with a spade and got my finger stuck on some concrete block. What the heck? Oof da. Okay, yeah, this is a win, but look at that. It wasn't easy, was it? Now, that was knight h7. We had knight e4 and we had king c5, right? Let's see knight e4. How do we win here? Well, we're threatening to take the pawn, right? The problem is bishop d5 check wins the knight, so we can we can already forget about this one. Knight f7, knight f7. When knight f7? She's having a rest. Chess hike. I wanted the clip. Oh, the clip is knight c7. The clip is knight c7. It's not knight f7, it's knight c7. I love that clip. It's all not obvious. Yeah. So king c5. We could try king c5, right? Just hike. Yes, cheese. Oh, you gotta go, Bobby. Okay, have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, here I have... Well, white has bishop b1, because we want to go to this diagonal. And with the king on e6, there's no... how to say this? For example, what can white do here? Black, I mean, go back here. Yeah, seems fair to me. Going back here, then we would play bishop somewhere. I would lose a tempo, I think, because with the king on c5 we can play bishop e4, right? Bishop d5 does anything in which position? The dark king is really out of the game. b4. Sorry, because now with the delay this is going to be tough to know which position are you referring to. If you know the idea, maybe it's not that hard anymore. On bishop a2. Here bishop d5 in this position. Oof, da. You gotta calculate that. You have to calculate that. It seems working, right? Just take the knight. Getting a draw without thinking hard is better than a win having to think hard. If taken promotes, yeah. If taken promotes, and if knight d7, that would be silly. Oh, knight d7 is stupid. What am I saying? Knight e8. I mean, I'm gonna cheat and have a look at table base and see. Yeah, bishop d5 wins. Bishop d5 wins according to table base. But yeah, for me the logical procedure would be to change diagonal bishop b1 to e4. Bishop d5 is kind of in the limit, and you have to calculate. But yeah, knight takes d5. Just d7 wins. True Blood, thanks for the follow. Clean win. I mean, I don't think it's a clean win because you have to calculate all the moves that are not knight takes d5 here. I was considering 98, for example, and yeah, d7 wins. Knight c7 check, still not enough. Yeah, I guess it's not so complicated, but you have to calculate moves. You have to calculate moves, don't you? Knight h7, for example, would be interesting. Yeah, the ideas are the same basically than with the bishop on e4. It's pretty much the same. The bishop is cutting the king, so the king cannot keep contact with the pawn if he moves. King e7. Yeah, king e7 wins here. We've seen this position already. We've seen this position in a different line, if you remember. The knight can come back. Yeah, the knight will come back, and then we play bishop e4, and this is Sukson. Well, not this, but this. And then knight f6, and then we triangulate because we want this position being white to move. So here we can triangulate, let's say bishop g2. Knight has to move because the king is tight here. Then we play bishop f3, knight f6, bishop e4. Why are we calculating this? Typing hearts. And now knight h7, bishop takes h7, so delete. And it messed up the lines again. Make main line. Okay. Just we got it in a similar way because we love chess. Yeah, we love chess. Okay, so That's all I have to say about bishop versus knight. What I have in my notes on this last one, this last position, is this example position features both a defending king not in front of the pawn and an unstable knight, blah 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 blah, subsequent blah 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 blah. And then what I have is it's hard to take any general conclusion. No theoretical rule can be established, and accurate calculation is required. However, searching for subsequent positions, as the one we have here, can be very useful to guide the calculation process. So yeah, in this type of endgame, it's important to find these subsequent positions to know what to do with the bishop, basically. But yeah, it depends on the position. It depends on the position, of course. Okay, so time to publish this study. Now I need to find the URL of the study, or maybe here. This is current chapter URL, study URL. I'm pretty sure it has no sync, but the other day we saw this book, so what we did was linking to the first chapter of the study always, and I think I'm gonna do the same today. Current chapter URL, start and initial position, copy. I'm gonna make the study public. That's important. Public, save, and now I'm gonna add study. And I'm gonna copy the title of the study. And add it there. Successfully added, and entry 27. Wow, Jim, thanks for the cheer. Thanks for the beats, man. Thank you. And now it's time to, hey Chaos, what is up? How are you doing? So now it's time for the other part of this stream, which was the most voted actually on the Discord, and it's picking random domination endgames. If you recall what domination is, do you all guys know what domination is? It's a very important concept in the endgame. Learn, study. Yes! So if I find my study on endgames that is still not public, endgames. Just saying hi before I go stream Minecraft. Oh, cool. Hi, and have a good one, man. Yeah, okay. I still didn't publish this one because it still contains a lot of junk. Like, look, all these chapters, chapter 46, chapter 48. I need to clean this up. But some part of this study is already nice. So we had some basic concepts like rule of the square, opposition, distant opposition, reserve moves, and one of them was domination. And here we've seen a position where 4 knights were dominated by different pieces. And basically domination in endgame is when a piece is totally blocked or controlled, has no freedom at all, because the opponent's pieces control all of the squares where that piece can go to. So that's what we call domination. And the great Henrik Kasparian, compositor from last century, he has this amazing book, 2,545 endgame studies on domination. So all the puzzles in this book are on this theme of domination, and we're gonna select some random ones and try to solve them. As easy as that. So I want you guys to pick a number between 1 and 2545. Or maybe I can do it on random.org or something. I don't know. You tell me a number which is not 1, 2, 3, 4 because that's already picked. We already picked that one yesterday. 10. Okay, 10 seems fine. Let's do 10. Let's do study number 10. Study number 10. Fuxia wants the last one. Nice. Let me, well, I should create a study for this, probably. Create new study. If it's a cool study, I'm gonna do it private, and if it's a cool one, if it ends up being a cool one, I will publish it. Random domination studies. No computer analysis, no opening explorer, no nothing. Start. First position. I'm gonna put the number of the puzzle. So we have a king. Let me empty the board. We have a king on b8, a bishop on h8, a knight on g5, a pawn on a3, king on c2, and pawn on c7. Then the king is on c8. Yeah. White to play and win, it says. Orientation white, create chapter. Okay, so we're gonna do this one and then we're gonna do the 25-45. So white to play and win, guys. I'm gonna let the position there while I go grab another coffee. So I'll be right back. White to play and win. It's gonna be about promoting. Oh, I thought we had to promote this one, but we can actually defend the other, can we? It's a tough one, isn't it? Queen at d8. This is not crazy house. Okay, let's see. Oh my god, it's a long line. Well, we have to start with 96, sure. You can defend the pawn and the bishop can't ever touch the knight. That frees up the king to scout the other pawn, maybe. That's a plan. So we must dominate the bishop. Well, good news is because this is just an analysis board, I can put moves on the board, so we can explore the lines. So we're not going to do this as the usual tactics sessions where I usually want to see everything in advance, but we're gonna be moving pieces on the board. Thankfully, because these studies sometimes are not so easy. Okay, this seems like a plan, but that doesn't that does not dominate the bishop, right? I think this is probably an immediate draw. Bishop here threatening to take this. I think it's an immediate draw, isn't it? We consider the c pawn as dead? Probably. Yeah, this looks as draw. Let's say either push or or go with the king. I don't know. And yeah, how do we win now? If we trade, it's a draw. If we don't, it's gonna be a draw. It looks like a draw. So probably 96. Not precise. We can avoid bishop here with knight f7, right? If we start with knight f7, we avoid this move and we win a tempo. So knight f7 definitely a move to consider. There's other move, which is knight f3, that prevents bishop e5, but in that case he can take and he's closer to drawing. So if I have to bet on a move, I would bet on knight f7. I figured we can't win with just the pawn, the a pawn. Maybe we can. Knight f7 saves this pawn for a move, at least, because he's forced to move the bishop. Actually, the bishop doesn't have a lot of squares, and this is where domination starts to be in the air, right? Knight f7 gets a lot of squares plus gives the fork ideas. Yeah. Only 18 in Puzzle Rush today. They were harder than usual. Or you were slower than usual. If bishop f6, then knight d6. Okay, yeah. I was thinking about the same idea with monsters. Now we need to consider basically 4 moves. That's a lot. But probably knight d6 against, not against all of them. Or maybe yes, against all of them. Bishop a1 is probably the trickiest. And I'm thinking I want the knight to land on b2. So let's go case by case. Let's go case by case. g7, f6, d4 or a1. Wow, Strider, thanks for the host and welcome. If bishop d4, then knight d8. Okay. Let's go one by one. Bishop g7, we have knight d8 or knight d6. But knight d6 is check. so knight d6 check wins on the spot, right? This is easy. Bishop f6 is the same. This wins on the spot. Bishop d4, this wins on the spot. So bishop a1 is the only really real attempt. So I will make main line there. And now I would love to have knight d6 and knight all the way to b2, but I don't know. I will not have that with checks. So, king b1, right? King b1 because c3 is not stable. King b1, right? Well done, Waste Monsters. Yep. Bishop c3, knight d6 check. And every time we go knight d6 check, he has to take the pawn because otherwise we promote with check. Yeah, and of course king b2 or whatever. All moves win now. So I'm gonna stop here, delete from here. I'm gonna delete the lines that are not the main line now because I want to create puzzles from here. So the line again, bishop a1, king. That was nice. That was a nice domination puzzle. Let's be sure. Let's see the solution in the book. It was puzzle number 10. Sometimes books contain mistakes as well. So, knight f7, bishop a1, king b1, bishop g7. It says knight d6 check, king takes c7, knight e8 check. Yeah, and then it gives some other lines like bishop c3, bishop d4, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, we got it. Nice. Hey, Metaligo, what's up? So now that I have this line up to knight takes c3, I'm gonna do this chapter as interactive mode, interactive lesson, so people can try to solve the puzzle when they see the study. Okay, next one, Fuxia asked for 2545, and you can ask for more if you want any random number between 1 and 2545. So the last puzzle in the book is this one. It is white to play and win as well. Empty board. We have many pieces on the board. Oofda. This is a tough one. Yeah, probably because it's the last one. Yeah. Okay. Pawn here. Very strange pawns here on h2 and h3. Bishop on h1. Knight. Very strange knights here on f2 and f3. A very strange position. This is the craziest position ever. Now you'll see where black has the pieces. King here, obviously. Look at these two pawns here and this queen here. and then, if that was not enough, a knight here. Am I having it right? What am I missing? I think I'm missing something in this position. Is this about dominating or about checkmating? Yeah, position is right. Why always start with the last page of a book? Setting up the board is the difficult part. Yeah. I think it is this. White to play and win. White to play and win. But this is okay. I'm gonna. No, I was going to cheat a bit, but no. I was going to see what the topic of the chapter was, but no, I'm not even gonna do that. Let's just try to find a win here. But it it feels like we need to dominate the king, like to check. I mean, black is about to promote so many times that even if we take queen and rook, 92 next puzzle. Okay, so knight takes d2 check is a move, definitely. What will black do? Well, move the king, right? So if king moves here, we can take these guys, but this is gonna promote. Copyright notice, hello. What is up? Thank you for pointing that out. So what do you think, guys? King e5 or king c5? King c5, probably. 1 hour may solve it. Check here. This is gonna be a really tough puzzle, Fuxia. Oofda. Okay, what do we do after king c5. We took one pawn, but we're still... First of all, there's still another pawn that's going to promote, and we're still out of material down. And I don't see a checkmate, although I missed this check. And after king b6, sorry, king b5. After king b5, if we take the queen, he promotes probably. We have bishop c6 check, right? Aha. Now this is nice, because if he takes here, we might have some checks, and promotion is under control. So king a6, right? Now what? No, I thought we had a checkmate, but we don't. Rook takes c6. Oh, he has rook takes c6. I'm blind. I'm blind. Almost. And if we start with bishop c6 in this position, are we threatening checkmate? I guess he takes here. Ah, this is check also. Queen takes knight. So maybe the knight is a bit exposed on d2. Can we do some other discovered check to start with? Or I was thinking knight d3. Like trying to threaten a checkmate. He has the check with knight. He has the check with knight. What do you mean? Knight d3, then queen b7 check. Ah, yeah. Yeah, or b5. So we cannot do a slow move probably to start with. And anyway, even if we have some quiet move to start with, I would first consider the checks. Calm down, chess moves aren't subject to copyright. Yeah, actually we're trying to discuss chess here, not that. Please, I ask you to stop talking shit in the chat. Maybe we start with knight d4 check. Knight d4 check is interesting because it protects an escape square here, right? We would have a wall here. So knight d4 check seems fair. It also blocks this one, right? f5, which I'm not sure if it will help or not. But yeah, I mean, it gives away this e5 square, so the king can go to e5. But any move we do with the knight gives that. So knight e4 check, interesting. Now king here, king here. So king here is checkmated. So that's already good news. So he has to go to e5, only move. That's forcing. Knight e4, you can go knight c6 or knight e6 afterwards. Aha. Well, since this bishop is controlling this, what about knight d3 check? And is king f6 the only legal move? Then we don't have more checks, so let's not. Knight g4, yeah, knight g4, much better. Knight g4, make knight 9. So now king f4 is only move. And what's the best way? We have all these controlled. So if I move the knight, I give this. But I can maybe check and checkmate. Is that checkmate? Knight check. King can't go. King can only go here, right? And check. Of course it's not checkmate. What am I thinking? But I'm trying. I'm trying. I mean, to do this, well, to do this I could have started with knight takes e2. So let's go back here and check here. Maybe this makes more sense. Because he has to go here anyway. Ah, but then I don't have... Oh, I have this. Aha. Forced draw? I don't want a draw. Am I missing a way to win here? If I check here, he's gonna go to f6 or e5. It doesn't seem to be a checkmate. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a checkmate. If only we could use the bishop in a more beautiful way. Okay, do we have some other idea here? If we don't check here, he goes to f6 and I no longer have checks. Oh, there's no check on b7 now. So maybe we can do a slow move. It's like we will collect as much material as we can, but how? Yeah, how to do it with checks. Okay, let's start again with this one. If this is not winning, if this is not checkmate, oh man. I'm even calculating this. I'm even calculating this. But that's too stupid. Shame King can go to 6 now. Can we make it a crazy house puzzle? Yeah. I mean, I like knight d4 check to start with. But now... And here I like knight g4 because after king f6, if we check somewhere else, after king f6 I don't see anything. Knight takes e2, king f5, knight e3. No, but the knight is protecting e3. That's the problem. So I think you're saying this, and there's this, and I guess this is not winning. Yeah, after knight takes e2 I think we're running out of checks. Actually, we can't do a slow move because of d1. Well, with the knight still here, we may be able to do a slow move. For example, knight d3 check, king f6 only move, and now try to do a slow move. No. Slow move could be queen, knight takes queen. But he just sacrifices rook takes d4 and wins. Yeah. Argh. Well, we have also this check, but that's repeating, right? Ay, ay, ay. I have the feeling it has to be this one. You have many checks there. Knight takes e2 doesn't look promising, so I'm gonna keep looking at this one. I feel I'm close. Ha! I think all of this was forced, wasn't it? And now without the rook, we might have some kill with the bishop. So let's go back here. Bishop e4 first. In this, like in this position, bishop e4. Nah, that seems too much, I think. Doesn't feel right. Now check. So he has to go back here. And now I can do this check that I couldn't before. These knights are super annoying. So we go back to this position. We go back to this initial position. And check. And now knight takes e2. I mean, if this is the winning line, I think it was all forced up to here. Maybe taking on e2 was unnecessary. I'm gonna keep checking. Now repeat again. After bishop c4 check, we can take queen. After bishop c4 check, I don't follow you. I don't follow you. Knight c4 check. So you mean like going here, here. What was the line? This, 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 this. And now you say take here to control this. You think this is the winning line, guys? It's 26 moves. Make main line. Seems all right. Yeah, we probably have it right. Well, black has one check, but yeah, I should say this position should be winning. Looks good enough. If this was over the board, I would take those down knights and throw them across the room. Okay, let's have a look at the whole line again. Knight e4 check, king e5 only move. Check. We put one knight to the parking and grab the other. So this is all forced. And I cannot take the queen yet because of the pawn on e2. So we need to go all the way back, take the pawn on e2, and repeat all the way back to take the queen. The a pawn is queening here. Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm gonna check the solution, but wow. So this is the last puzzle. Okay, I'm seeing the solution has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, but good news is the last move is 26 knight takes b2. So sounds about right. Okay, let's compare. Knight e4 check, king e5. Well, let's put it from the beginning. Knight e4 check, king e5, knight e4 check, king f4, knight e6 check, king f5, knight e7 check, king f4, knight h5, king f5, knight h6, king e5, knight f7, knight d6, knight takes c4, knight d6, knight f7, knight h6, knight g4, knight g7, knight e6, knight e4, knight takes e2, knight d4, knight e6, knight g7, knight h5, knight h6, knight f7, knight e6, knight c4 check, and knight takes b2. And yes, we did it. We did it. Well done. Wow, this I like this one. I might use this with my students. If only I was paid by the hour. Wait, I am. Okay. Too easy. Yeah, too easy. Pick another one. Let's pick another one, guys. Tell me a number, a random number from 1 to 25, 45. Delete from here, delete from here, delete from here. Okay, now the line is clean, and I can put this chapter as interactive lesson. 1337 lead. Okay, thank you. Okay, you said some numbers there. I'm gonna take note of all of them and do them in order. There a lot this. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so hey, is that the lottery, OJ? Okay, so 1337. Then we have 1471. Thanks, Nelson. Then we have 420. Then we have 69, of course. Then we have 42. Yeah. What is that, OJ? 4, 8, 15. Oh, the lost numbers. Yeah. But, okay, I'm not gonna... I think we already have enough until 42. Dare you to make a second one. Okay. Numbers for the lottery. Yeah, I know. All completely random. All completely random. That's right. Okay, let's start with the 1337. Add a new chapter. 1337. You skipped mine, Pepe. Oh, what? John. Oh, you said 1. Okay, let's add 1 after 42. And that's the last one I'm gonna take. So 1337. This is 400. 1313. 14, 138, 135, 134, 1337. Here it is. So White to play and win, as usual. That's a bishop. I don't like the diagrams of this book. Sometimes I'm confused with the pieces. Queen here, king here, I think. Bishop h4, knight f7. Yeah, this is the position. 3 pieces dominating a queen. Nice. Create chapter. White to play and win, and we're gonna kill that queen. And we don't mind losing a bishop or a knight in the process. So, first of all, I would calculate the 2 checks. We're gonna dominate that queen. That queen already lacks some squares. Already lacking some of the squares the queen can normally go to. But we don't have a fork yet. So it's important probably to check, to start checking the king, so the king goes to a place where it can be forked easily. So the king now can go... Well, if we check from here, we're gonna force the king to a light square, right? So I want the king there. So I will start with bishop f2. Yeah, I would start with bishop f. Ooh, for some reason it's black's to move. Okay, I got it wrong. Give me a second. I think I can create another chapter and it will take the same position. And white to play. Create chapter. Now I delete the other one. And now it's white to play. Yes. Bishop f2 check. And now, of course, king d5, because king e4 runs immediately to this fork, right? So king d5, only move. We're not going to have forks there. So what about this check to force him to a square where we have forks? Queen e3, no good. Queen e2, what? Such a structured approach. Bishop c4, I like that one. I like that suggestion of Jay. Yay. I like that one. Do you know your cursor is off? My cursor? Like you cannot see the cursor, the mouse. Okay, but it's not the end of the world, is it? You can see when I move a piece anyway. Oh, the cursor is not off. It's actually, oopsie. Delete. It's actually shown like several pixels above where it's actually. Yes, we have it solved. What? Bishop c4? So now the king has to go to e4 where there's a fork, or to c6, and then we have bishop e5 check, right? So that's it. Yeah. Yeah, we have it. Yeah, the cursor is in, I don't know why my streaming software goes crazy with cursor. I'm sorry about it. And this is it, guys. This is just winning the queen, right? And we all know how to checkmate with knight and bishop, right? We all know that. Delete from here. Okay, I'll check the solution. And then we draw, because I don't know how to mate with... Don't you know? 13337 was it. 133337. Bishop f2 check, king d5, bishop c4 check, king c6, bishop e5 check, king takes b5, knight d6 check. Yeah. Cool. I have practiced and bishop and knight versus king, and I did manage to checkmate. Yeah, we all know that. Nice. I will know when I surpass 50 moves. Took me a few moves longer than needed, but I did it. Okay, maybe it's time for me to do it again. Should I practice it now? Take this position and practice against the computer? Yes, practice it, please. Continue from here. Yes, please, low. Play with the machine. Yes, please. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna play against the Stockfish 8. I have played more than 1000 chess game and is yet to be in a knight plus bishop mating endgame, so I won't practice it. Good call. I think I had it once in an over the board chess game, and many times online. But to be honest, I under promote many times to have this, so it doesn't count. Okay, let's give me what, 1 minute, 2 minutes. I guess I can. Oh, look at that! If I pick less than a minute, I cannot play against a stockfish for some reason. Is there a bug? It disappears. Less than 1 minute, I cannot. That's weird. Then let's do 1 minute. Or maybe 1 minute is too few. 1 minute is tough, right? Let's go. And if I fail, it is what it is. Is it me to play? Ha! Yes! 1 minute was more than enough, guys. Simple, right? Very simple, very simple. No, the hard part is, for me, the hard part is this first part when I'm trying to push it to the side of the board, because to the edge of the board, because yeah, that's the part where. Hey, Markian, what's up? But once he's in the side of the board, I repeat this. I've told the technique to do this checkmate to 2 of my students who asked for it a couple of times, and I always tell this. This is the setup you want to have. The hard part is not fucking up. This is what you want. This is the ideal situation. Bishop, king, knight, and king. Because that way knight and bishop are working together. And what we want is the same here and there until we eventually checkmate. And for that, the knight will do this, basically. So it's not so difficult. The mechanics are always the same. Sometimes you need to do some tempi with the bishop. But yeah, this position I'm already cutting. But so this is more or less the ideal situation, more or less. Again. And again. How are you doing? How's endgame going? It's going well. It works on the A rank too. Well, you need a corner of the corner of the color of your bishop to checkmate. So we checkmate here or here. It's impossible to checkmate on A8 or H1 in this case. That's why he ran towards A8 when I pushed him to the back of the edge of the board, and then I had to push him to the other corner. Okay, let's go back to the study and and pick the next one. 1337 is done. Let's pick 1471. My studies 1471. 1471. Good choice, 1471. Stockfish should have resigned. Yeah. The moment he saw I was doing the technique perfectly, he should have resigned. 1471. Should have gone with 137. Yeah, 134. Right, John. And you said 1. Terrible. Will we also get a middle game stream? Yeah, sure. Someday, why not? We've done a couple of streams on strategy already, so, and we do many on tactics. So yeah, middle game makes sense. Now this is what's wrong with this book. This book has these diagrams. I cannot tell whether a rook is white or black. I assume these both rooks are white. I'm comparing to other diagrams. Yeah, I think they're both white. So I think the position is this one. King on g1, king on g8, queen on f8. Okay, this position is interesting. Oh, this is not. This is the 1470. So it's the next one. Sorry. It's not this one. Rook on g6, rook, but it's the same material. King here, and king here, and queen here attacking the rook. Yeah. White to play and win. Something like creating an advantage in an equal position. Yeah, sure, magic. Creating an advantage in an equal position, what? It's the number you used to dial in UK to get the number of the last person who called you before mobiles. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. There are some default studies on lichess telling you how many moves to checkmate with perfect play. Ah, endgame studies. Oh, cool. Rook h7, rar. Yeah, rook h7 seems logical, right? It's the only check that makes sense. Because rook g7 allows the king to go to f6. How dare you spoil endgame? With the bishop, knight, king versus king, you always risk 40 move rule. Grishbud333k, thanks for the follow. Okay, guys, I think rook h7, we all agree that it's probably the most promising move. Good news with this endgame is you can never lose with white. I'm gonna play rook h7. So we basically have two moves here, don't we? No, we don't. We only have king d8. I don't know what I'm thinking. Of course, here we check, and he cannot take both rooks at the same time, so king d8 is forced. Okay. This 3 was E. Aha. So you are Gzibik. It's hard for me to pronounce. Are you Polish? GRZYB. How am I supposed to pronounce that? Okay, how do we dominate this queen now? Rook d6. Okay, yeah, we have this check. He has to move here. And then we have no more checks, right? Yeah, that's correct. I'm from Poland. Okay, that doesn't help in pronouncing, but Gzibik, Gzibiek, Gzibiek. I don't know. I'm not sure about that check. Where is this queen going? Rook a6 threatening checkmate. Yeah, rook a6 threatening checkmate is also interesting, and he has a check. Rook d7, what? Oh, that's a host. MP Zeta 07. Thanks for the host. Prevents checks on you. Rook a6 prevents checks on me? Ah, it prevents this check. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Let's go there and see what moves does this queen have. Not a lot, huh? Let's mark the forbidden squares. Supposing he's gonna move the queen, he has to move the queen. But okay, these are forbidden too because it will be checkmate. So these are forbidden too. So there's only one move that makes sense. Queen f8. Good. Rook d6, king c8, rook d7 was my line. Oh, but that would be a draw, right, John? Okay, let's look at that line. Check. And which rook to d7? Which one? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Any rook goes there, he takes, and it's a draw. Okay, so let's go with rook a6 again. Make main line. I like it. I like it because he only has one move, which is queen f8 check. And now, where to put the king? I'm thinking something like king g3, king h2. King g3, and this is controlled, so only move queen g8, I think. And we're controlling this, so there's no way to stop rook a8 for the queen. So, queen g8 check, king h2. And we're controlling this, and we're losing the rook, so I'm stupid. Okay, forget what I just told. Oh, but I can actually, maybe I can do this because I have check and check. Ah, he can't take the rook. And now he has to check again on f8. But if I'm going to go that way, maybe I could have started before. Ah, terrible. I didn't want to go to a light square, but I guess I still can. And now to a dark square. Yeah, basically going to the d file seems winning. But could I do it without going to g3 here? Like, you know, in this position, maybe it's easier to go king e4. King e4. When the queen is on f8, I don't want to go to a dark square because I give extra checks like this one. So king e4, make my line. Ah, I'm giving that. So maybe I need the king g3 route after all. Huh. And king e5 allows this one. So maybe I actually need this, because king g4 allows this again. So I need to go down to prevent check on the rank, but not here because I don't want that check. So I think I have actually to go to g3, make main line, and after queen g8, again I don't want to repeat, I don't want to allow this check, so I need to go here. So I think this is probably the line. Queen f8 check now. King e2, because this allows this check and this allows this check. So king e2, check, and now king d2. Right? Is that the line? And black can stop the checkmate. But the line didn't. Yeah, the line didn't stop. It stops after this. Now it's complete. And I'm gonna answer why rook on h7 cannot be taken. Rook on h7 cannot be taken here because of this check, and no matter where the king goes, we're gonna skewer and win the queen. So I think the whole line might end up, if I see the line again, this is the main line. Make main line. Okay. That is tricky. Yeah. How do the rook endgame though? How to do the rook endgame? What? Winning king and rook versus queen, king and rook versus king. I think I can do it in less than a minute too. Can I open this in a new tab? No, okay, then I won't do it. That's preliminary school. Okay, yeah, let's check with the book. I'm guessing this is the line, this one, with queen e4 here. Queen e4 last attempt. Let me see. Rook h7 check, king d8, rook a6, yes, queen f8 check, king g3 exclam, queen g8 check, king f2, and it says, it gives two lines. One of them is queen f8 and the other is queen d5. It gives the line queen d5, which continues with rook a8, and yeah, again the same trick. And the other line is queen f8 check, king e2, queen e8 check, king d2, yes. And the line stops there, but of course queen e4 could be tried. So I like the line we used, and I'm gonna keep it for the study. Why don't they just resign? King plus rook versus king, I knew when I was 10 and has come up loads of times over the board. Wow. I think I've never had it over the board, like, you know, in real tournaments, like people resign before that. Delete, 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 delete. Okay. Congrats to Pepe. Wait, what? Okay, let me remove the arrows. Yeah. And let's put this as a interactive lesson. Save chapter. Some people go on in games in case the opponent should get a heart attack or something. for solving everything. Well, we're solving it together. Now, next one is 420, 420, 420, 419, 420. We have king is here, rook is here, pawn is on b6, bishops. So this is rook and pawn versus two bishops. That's the theme of this chapter. Okay, dominating the bishops. So king is on h8, bishops are on h6 and c6. King on, yeah, that's it. Okay, white to play, I think. White to play and win. No, it cannot start like this. It starts like this. Ah, there's a check on b5. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Yeah, John, I thought the same. I thought rook d6, come on. But there's a check on b5. But still rook d6. Also rook h4. Ah, but we want to promote. Actually, yeah, rook d6 is interesting if it deviates the bishop from controlling b7, right? So let's start with rook d6. Bishop b5 is the only way to save material, right? For black. Rook d8, rook d8, but rook d8, it's just a check, and he gets to defend one bishop. So between rook d6 and rook d8, I think rook d6 is a bit stronger. Now after the check, is rook and king against rook and bishop winning? Not always, but in many cases is. Didn't we do that on the Endgames stream before? We might not. It depends on the corner. Actually, black's king is in a dark square corner, so the bishop that he wants to keep is this one. The problem now is we have a pawn also. But if these two guys disappear, it might be a draw, because this is the right corner for this bishop to get a draw, but not for this bishop. So if these two guys disappear, we might win. Anyway, after bishop b5 check, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. You have rook d8, king g7, b7. Aha, that's a good point. b7 after this check. So if king somewhere, So now your question makes sense. I think I would go bishop f4 to be sure that I give away the wrong bishop. The right bishop, I mean. King h7. Yeah, so now there's no rook d6 to force bishop takes b7. So if we go here, this should be a draw. Generally speaking, this is a draw. The king will go there, and the bishop, he needs to keep the bishop alive, but probably bishop a4 or bishop. As long as he doesn't blunder the bishop, it should be a draw. He's too close to the corner. So yeah, interesting. Very tricky. And if we start with rook d6 is the most forcing because I think it can only be replied with bishop b5 check. But now we have 4 options, and I have an idea now, because one of those 4 options prevents bishop f4. So I would go there. It also prevents any further checks. So is this domination? Bishop is on pre. There's no bishop f4, and there are no checks. Also, this bishop doesn't have a lot of squares. And how does he prevent the promotion? Well, bishop f8, yeah, he can try bishop f8. But bishop f8, maybe just rook here. And if he defends, then b7. Ah, there's bishop c6 check. Oh. That was tricky. And what about... I'm too crazy. After this... No, doesn't work. Maybe king e4 is not the move after all. This is stupid because there's bishop a6. Sack rook. No, when I said what about, I was thinking about this, the rook sacrifice, but then there's bishop c6. So here I cannot go for the promotion because bishop c6. So yeah, I cannot sack the rook. But rook f6 seems alright. Rook f6. Maybe just king g7. b7. So rook f6. Promote comes with a fork. Be cool, copyright notice, please. What do you mean, Jim? What do you mean with promote comes with a fork? There is no check. Hmm. So the bishop we want to talk, we want to take in general is this one. So I'm thinking, yeah, king e4 seems natural, and then bishop f8. Is bishop f8 the only idea? It seems so. So rook d8, king g7. And so, for example, let's say this. Now he may or may not check first. If he doesn't check, I will go here, I think. And bishop here maybe check. Ay. But he can check first. Then king here, check. What do you think, guys? I think I'm too tired already for this. I'm not calculating anymore. Just randomly exploring moves, and I'm not convinced of any of them. This seems winning. Unless I'm missing something, this seems clearly winning. Maybe the king goes to g8, so there's no checks, but I lost interest, John, too. Yeah. Maybe just have a look at the solution and that's it. I'm already too tired, and honestly, copyright notice, you're annoying me a lot in the chat. So I think I will just stop. I will just look at the solution, put it there, and stop streaming. It was nice. It was nice. So let's see the solution, which is incredibly long. Okay, rook d6. That's cool. Bishop b5 check. King e4. Nice. Hey Joey! Hey, how are you? How are you feeling? I'm about to finish. It's been a long stream, and I was so pissed off right now because of these viewers being mean in the chat that I'm just closing the stream. Yeah. And it's been more than 3 hours streaming Endgames, so I'm totally I'm totally wiped out. I'm gonna just give it away, the solution of this one, and finish. I'm sorry, but hey, okay, you've been watching silently. Thank you. Yeah, it's also very late, I have to say. So, King e4, Bishop f8. Oh, thank you, OJ and Nelson and everyone. And I'm sorry, I had to do that. Bishop f8, Rook f6, Bishop c5, which I totally didn't see coming. b7, Bishop a7, and we don't play b8 because this is not the bishop we want to take. We want to take this one, right? So look at this. Rook f8 check, king g7, and not promoting, but rook a8. Cool. Now bishop c6 check, king d3. And okay, the line that gives here is bishop takes b7, which is obviously losing, but yeah, black has nothing better. Amazing. And line stops here. And now it gives another line after 3 king g7. Let's have a look. That's crazy. It's not crazy. As I said, if we take the wrong bishop, what's the main line again? 8 rook takes a7. Here, let's make the main line here. How's your eye, Joey? It's madness. No, it's not. If we take the wrong bishop, like for example here, this is a draw, guys. This endgame is a draw. A lot better. Oh, nice, great. And how was your day? How was your Monday? The king g7. Okay, we have it. We promote to queen. What happened to your eye? Too busy. Ah, as mine. My Monday was too busy. Yeah, it was too busy. Okay, because the king is in this corner, he has the perfect bishop for a draw. And let's quickly show how the draw is done here. By no means he has to go to the corner, but let's be cooperative as black for a moment. A ruthless attack by a deadly creature named Hitch. Let's repeat. Let's go here. And now let's go to this diagonal. And this is where the draw comes, because we can block with the right color bishop. We can block any checks. And now king g6 is a stalemate. And yeah, there's no way to checkmate here in this corner. I mean, there are some tricks and you have to be careful, of course. But so if we take the wrong bishop, we don't win. Now let's see the line after 3 king g7. But we've seen we've thought this instead of bishop c5. Yeah, and here the solution was to play queen against two bishops. Look at that. b7, king takes f6, queen, and king d3 here. Amazing. Okay, this line is very complicated now. King e7. Look at this check. And if king here, we would check here and on f7. No, it doesn't work. Check here. Check here, yeah. Okay, that was tricky. Especially the line with the queen is tricky. So which one should we use? I think the beautiful one is the main line. So I'll keep this one for the puzzle. Okay, John, have a great night. I'm also gonna head out. So let's clean all the lines. Delete from here. We didn't do your puzzle, John, but we had 3 more. More hard than it looked. Yeah, this was tricky. I think I hated it. Delete 14 moves, yes. Queen is easy. If you say so, okay. But if you make it interactive, we can see all lines. I mean, I could do 2 puzzles instead of 1, but I think the queen line, we can avoid it. I don't think it's easy. I think you have to be precise, because black is 1 move away from regrouping the bishops. And the fact that one bishop is on f8, the other on c6, makes it impossible to defend both at the same time. So by a series of check, we end up with a proper fork. But I think you have to be precise to win with the queen there. Anyway, we did 5. Maybe because John is leaving, we can do a final one. The one he picked, the number 1. The puzzle number 1. I think I probably know the puzzle number 1 already of this book. Yeah. Or not. No, I don't know it. Oh yeah, bishops can make a fortress with time, true. Yeah, if you don't fork, if you don't do that series of checks, bishops can regroup around the king. Both bishops defended, and you're never gonna win that. Okay, let's do puzzle number 1 to finish the stream. Let's do the last puzzle. It's white to play and win. Now I want to keep going because Joe is here. But no, it's too late. So king here, pawn here, pawn here. So my day was long and not very productive. Yeah, not very. Still have a lot of work to do tomorrow. Okay, already had a king, knight here, and bishop in a terrible position. And that's it. White to play and win. White to play and win, and this king looks funny. Well, I think the obvious move, thinking these are domination endgames, the obvious domination move here is king c7, right? Dominates both bishop and king. So, because something like king c5 allows the bishop to escape. So king c7 would be my first guess. The check also doesn't help because yes, the king goes out. So should we explore this line, king c7? Let's do it. Black has only one move, right? Before. Do it. Do it. Yeah, because the pawn can move, he cannot sacrifice the bishop for a stalemate. So, b4 is the only move. And now, check, check, check. I'm thinking this, but it's stupid. Now king c6. Here? He's gonna have bishop b5 in the end, right? So king c6, he takes one pawn. I would take this one. Maybe I didn't analyze. And then this for the checkmate, but bishop here, and we're losing, I guess. So I think we need to take, probably, with either pawn. Or throw this check. Or this. Ah. Look at this move, c4. Make main line. This is a funny looking move. Protects b5. So if this pawn moves, no matter where, knight c6 is checkmate, isn't it? That's a sexy checkmate. And this is also checkmate. So after c4, black has to sacrifice the bishop. The king cannot move. The bishop must be lost. So bishop b5. Now I'm no longer sure of my move. It was sexy, but oh, is this still? No. If c4 isn't there, b takes c4. What? Okay, c4 was sexy, but I think he can just play bishop b5, or even bishop takes c4 is not it's not winning for us. Even this is not winning. Like, yeah, we have a problem. So c4 was stupid, but it's interesting that we have that. So maybe I keep the c pawn. And now, I don't know. King c6. Again, king c6. I don't think king c6 can work. Maybe I'm missing something because you guys keep saying king c6. But what happens after b takes c3? Knight c6, sorry. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, I think I'm too tired, guys. I should have stopped already. King c6, bc3, king c5. Residual, you said that already and I showed the line already. King c6, what am I missing in that line? He plays bishop b5. How do we win there? So he takes b4 and king b8. Okay. And king b8. Oh, I like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Well seen, okay. Make main line. Actually, this reminds me, I've seen this theme several times. Delete from here. In studies, this is a very common theme where you have the perfect Zugzwang. You have the perfect Zugzwang. Like you want to give your opponent the turn, and it seems like no move is useful because if we move the knight, we lose control of this. But then we find out that the king can control the same squares from a different square. Huh. Although that's not a Zugzwang, is it? Where's the Zugzwang? Okay. Eins. Yeah. Also this. Yeah. So okay. No, don't say sorry. Don't be sorry. It was a nice idea. It might be related to the winning idea. Check there. Take. So if we check and take with the knight, king a5 is the only move, right? Although it's not. How do we save this pawn now? We need knight c7 and we don't have it. Uh-oh. Because from c2 is not stable. So, king c4 here. Do we have time for this? Nope. That position you get to in the king c6 line. If it was black to move, it would be good. Yeah, yeah. I'm sort of thinking in those lines with king c6. I can't make them work though. King c6 takes king c5. We can do moves, can't we? Knight c6, then after king moves c4. Okay. King moves c4. And then what? Pepe, what about king e7, b4, c b4, knight f7? So you mean in the initial position king e7, Jim? But then the king escapes or the bishop escapes. I think king c7. I think king c7 has to be the first move. Ah, here, you meant king c7. Okay, okay, I get you. So you mean here knight f7. I like the idea. I like the idea. Because now white has only one move. That makes sense. And then king b6, right? Or what? Then king b6, I guess. But it's a race. It is a race. No, knight d6 loses g. Why not king d6 instead of knight f7? Okay, let's go step by step. 96, I think we're toasted here. We're losing here, or drawing maybe with luck. But king here makes a bit more sense because then the bishop is lost. Still, we have to be sure in this race we're fine, and we are fine, right? So because we promote first. So yeah, this might be a winning line. Actually, could black do differently? I mean, in this position, if he moves here, check here, it's gonna be similar, except it's not similar. And then is when we need too many tempi. But we don't want the draw, we want to win. So why not bishop c8 and why not knight d6 and promote? We can go deeper. Yeah, bishop c8 is the one I'm looking, and it seems good for black. I think this should be a draw. Knight b6, bishop c8. Okay, now you're confusing me with all those lines. I still had two lines in the back of my head that I wanted to look, that you said, and king b6, bishop c8. Yeah, this is the line I'm exploring. King b6, bishop c8. This is the line I'm exploring. King b6, bishop c8. And I think black is fine. I think. Might be wrong. So king b6. Yeah, but if king b6 doesn't work, I guess knight f7 doesn't work. And someone pointed out king d6 here. And yeah, I was calculating this in my head. I didn't say anything. But I didn't see anything clear either. So this check, he has a couple of options here. That's the problem. Even this, I don't know. That bishop is so trapped there. We need this position being black to move, but we can't. Ah, that's always this. Doesn't look fine. So if we move the knight, he has to go here. Is there a better check than on d6? Too hard. It shouldn't be so hard, but I think we're all tired by this point. I think get the king to d5 before moving the knight. To d5, like this, and this. Cannot believe it. First king move, it should be on c6 after c takes b4 in this line. But if we go here, he goes here. Then king d5. And what is the idea? How is this dominating anything? You have such a cute, frowny face. Cute. Oofda. I'm too tired. There must be something very obvious in front of our eyes, and we're not seeing it. And this puzzle reminds me of some position. I think I've solved a similar one at some point. 2500 rating for this puzzle. Let's go back to this position. CB4, King B5, King D6, King B6, King D5, King B5. Why King B5? And Knight C4. So you're saying this, and this. I don't know why this. And then you say Knight C4, and I don't know, the check, for example, and the bishop gets out. I don't believe this. Then we don't have a choice. We have to go here. I don't know. I don't believe that. I don't think we need. I don't think we can let the king escape. The king and the bishop escape. The knight f7 line was promising, but we might have misplayed it. Actually, after this check on king b3, we had this move. I thought we didn't have it, but we have it. Right? So this seems like a winning attempt. Very promising, because if he does not have king b3, we're gonna have b5 anyway. I think this might be the line, guys. Make main line. Yeah, for some reason my mind rejected this idea, because, you know, allowing to sacrifice the bishop for a pawn, but in this case it doesn't work. Sorry, I'm deleting lines. I'm sorry, I'm changing now from to other lines, but I'm cleaning this up a bit. Yeah, and I think this this happens when you're tired. Your brain is no longer creative, and you just play with your intuition. So my intuition fell for this. My intuition was like, no, 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 don't play b5. But if you think about it, this is clearly winning, isn't it? And overworked. Who's overworked? So black cannot sacrifice. This is important, because now the knight defends, the king is in time to defend the knight, and that's winning. Yeah, I'm overworked. Yeah, that's right. Black cannot take here because we promote first, right? Very first, like totally in time to win. Are there any weird stalemates? So only chance for black would be to go sacrifice the bishop here, for example, to annoy our promotion. That's an interesting attempt. I think I have two ideas here to win. One is taking with the king, the other is taking with the knight. So taking with the knight is probably the one that looks worse to me, because of this move. And well, he has no time to take. And okay, this is winning again. This is winning again. Yeah, so taking with the knight should be good enough. So this might be the winning idea. And it was all forced, right? After king c7 there was only b4. After this check there's only this move. After knight f7 there's only king c4. That makes sense. Now knight d6 check. Instead of king b3, any other move faces b5 too, so I guess king b3, b5, and probably bishop b7 would be my guess from a computer's point of view. And I'm not sure, maybe king takes, is king takes winning too? Because the king is going to be exposed to a check no matter what. But yeah, this is also winning. Is this the solution, guys? It looks like that. And I really need some rest, so I'm gonna have a look. This was the number one, right? Yeah. Number one. Okay. Ready for the solution, guys. The book says king c7. Yes. b4. c takes b. King b5. Knight f7. King c4. Knight d6 check. King b3, b5, bishop takes b5, knight takes b5. Well, bishop takes b5 it gives. The play here is quite primitive and the domination over the doomed bishop is obvious. This endgame shows the level reached by chess composition in the last century. That's what it says. And that's it about the puzzle. So it doesn't give bishop b7, it gives bishop takes and knight takes, and the puzzle finishes there. And delete from here, delete from here. Let's clean this up and put this as a interactive lesson. Save chapter, and let's make this study public. Copy, save, add study. And in future sessions, we might add more puzzles, of course, to this. Current chapter URL. Start at initial position, copy. And thanks guys for being there. It was nice. Public, save. And I'm so tired. It was nice. It was nice. I had fun. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow with Quartillo as usual every Tuesday. Thanks Joey. Thanks Jim. Yeah, it was nice to see you there in the chat too, and to know that your eye is much better. Hope you have a great night, guys. And nice, but brain drained. Yeah, it was maybe a bit too long. Maybe a bit too long. Yeah. See you tomorrow, guys. Have a great night. Tomorrow more and better. You gotta see Fito now. Okay, bye-bye. Bye, Jim. Bye, Joey. See you. Love you.